Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have the chance to introduce a great Colorado, and I want to thank you for holding this hearing. We all know that natural disasters can be completely devastating to communities. We have faced that in Colorado last fall when our state saw catastrophic flooding following record rainfall. In September of 2013, communities across Colorado received more rain in 1 week than normally falls in an entire year. The rainfall caused widespread flooding across a large area from Colorado Springs all the way up to Fort Collins. 10 lives were tragically lost, and 11,000 people were evacuated from their homes. In the end, more than 1,500 homes and 200 commercial buildings were destroyed. Infrastructure all across the region, including roadways, irrigation ditches, and water reservoirs, was also severely damaged. In total, the devastating floods caused upwards of $3 billion in damage for Colorado. Sean Cronin, who we are lucky to have with us today, is the Executive Director of Colorado's St. Vrain and Left Hand Water Conservancy District. He saw this damage firsthand because the St. Vrain and Left Hand rivers drain the Front Range of the Rocky Mountains near Longmont and Boulder. During the floods, these rivers abandoned their channels, destroying their landscapes and any infrastructure that stood in the way. Sean witnessed this devastation, and he's been on the front lines helping communities ever since. For his flood recovery efforts, he recently received the Colorado Foundation for Water Education's Emerging Leader Award. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm very proud to welcome Mr. Cronin here to the committee and to thank you again for holding today's hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Enzi, Senator Bennet, and other committee members. I appreciate this opportunity to share with you a perspective that relates to just a small piece of this bill. My name is Sean Cronin. I'm the Executive Director of St. Vrain and Left Hand Water Conservancy District. We're located 40 miles north of Denver, Colorado. We're organized in 1971 and cover about 320,000 acres, 70,000 acres of which are for irrigated agricultural production. Irrigation is provided through a collection of water users who incorporated as mutual ditch companies. These ditch companies are federally recognized as an exempt 501c12 so long as 85% of the revenue is obtained through the water users known as shareholders. The 85% rule presents challenges to maintaining these complex and vast irrigation systems. This challenge was worsened following the September 2013 flood, where we experienced a 1 in a 1,000-year rain event, took 10 lives, and cost over hundreds of millions of dollars in damages. Within my district alone, 44 of the 94 ditch companies suffered damages in the flood at approximately $19 million. The good news is farmers don't let grass grow under their feet, and they got out there and did the work that needed to be done. The repairs were completed, about 95% of which are expected to be back online by the end of this year. The bad news is the costs, at least initially, are borne completely by these shareholders, who are farmers and the backbone of our local economy and grow the food that we eat. We are expecting some assistance from FEMA and from HUD. In those cases, companies are concerned that the FEMA and the HUD reimbursement funds will violate the 85% rule and possibly create a tax liability. Moreover, many companies could creatively finance their repairs without federal assistance, though in doing so could possibly create another tax liability. The bill as drafted provides funding options and incentivizes these ditch companies to reinvest into irrigation infrastructure, the same infrastructure that is critical to the agricultural industry, local economy, and our quality of life. In closing, in the opinion of the district and its agricultural constituents, this bill will have a positive impact on the September 2013 flood recovery, will strengthen our communities, make further investments in critical infrastructure to maintain agricultural economies. And this is one of our country's most recent natural disasters, and this is really an opportunity to put into action a bill that addresses the needs now and will prevent some of the hindsight stories that we heard today. Thank you for the opportunity.